Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Yesterday I uploaded a Q&A video, which I turned the comments off on because it was a little bit personal, and I got a little nerve-wracked about having people comment on my personal life. But I got a bunch of very nice emails as a result, so I wanted to start this video off by thanking everyone for saying some nice words. I got a bunch of emails about my music taste, which I thought was interesting. I'm glad some people resonated with the music that I like. I certainly enjoy it, so I'm glad that other people do as well. Today, it should be no surprise, it's a book haul. I didn't really want to do a book haul so early coming back, especially because I went on a couple with Steve. But nevertheless, I was feeling a little bit down yesterday, and a book haul usually cheers me up, so I decided to do that. And I got a manageable amount of books, so I'm actually pretty happy with all of the things that are in front of me. I don't think I went too crazy. I think I got just the right amount for what I was seeing at the time. So I'll go over those, but I've got a couple of housekeeping things. First of all, I just want to say that this video is going to be a little bit more chatty than usual. I don't have a lot of books in front of me, so you're welcome to just listen to the audio and do something else if that's what you like to do when you're watching videos, because I just wanted to kind of relax a little bit and just talk about a few books and do a couple of housekeeping things. The first one is I wanted to say that the book giveaway that I was doing, I put a pause on it a little while ago because it was getting... I was mailing out so many books, and I was making so many trips to the post office that it was getting a little bit overwhelming. But I sort of pulled back on doing that. But now I'm back, and I'm starting again, especially because I am going to be moving in very short order, believe it or not. So downsizing is going to be very helpful just to begin with. So I have two books here to rehouse. The first one is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I've actually tried to give this book away several times on this channel, and nobody wanted it. I was surprised, because isn't this the inevitable BookTube book? Doesn't everyone on BookTube love this book? I mean, I like it a lot, but I'm happy to give away my copy to somebody who hasn't read it or doesn't have a copy and really wants one. So I have that, and then I also have Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth in a hardcover with, I have to admit, one of the worst author photos I've ever seen on the back. He is not, I would not want to be that guy's friend, but just based on that picture. But anyway, both of these are on offer. If you're interested in either, feel free to email me. There are, of course, two rules. The first is that, unfortunately, you have to be within the continental United States, the lower 48, which sucks, I know, but the United States is the enemy of the world, so we can't be shipping internationally. It's too expensive and too much of a hassle, and it just doesn't work. So you have to be stateside in the continental United States. That's the first rule. And the second rule is you have to email me if you want it. It's a first-come, first-served basis, so it's not like there's a competition or anything like that. But you have to email me. It's christopherrussellreads@gmail.com. It's in the description of every one of my videos. So if you want them and you're interested, just email me, and I will let you know if it's still available or not. And just email me with your address. Okay. Those are the two books that I'm offering for today. And I have a book haul in front of me. Before I do that, though, I wanted to say that I got this. This is a Books device. It is more specifically the Books Note Air. I would love to make a video about this device and about reading e-readers in general. So let me know if you think that's interesting, because I've gotten a bunch of comments asking me to talk about how I annotate books. I show off a lot of books on this channel, and the ones that I read are usually filled up with flags on the spines, so a lot of people are interested in how I go about annotating books, and I've always thought about making a video about that, but then I get something like this, and I'm like, well, it Doesn't this just negate all of that? I mean, instead of all the paraphernalia that I need to annotate books with, I just have this, and it's all in one. And this actually comes with a pen. The pen's somewhere around here, but the pen works really great as well. And I've been using this. I got this because of Steve. When I was over at Steve's place, he had a drawer of e-readers and tablets and all sorts of tech goodies, and I was just sort of mining through it, and I saw this, and I was like, "What is this?" I mean, it's obviously much larger than typical e-readers go, and I was just sort of enamored with it from the jump. And I'll show you one of the main reasons why I love it so much. I factory reset it. I updated the firmware. I did all the things that I needed to get it into as usable of a state as I could, and it's working absolutely perfectly. So I'm super grateful for him to, have this and let me take it. But as you can see, can you see? Yeah. The nice thing about it is that it really is, when you format it correctly, and it does take a while to format correctly, this is identical, basically, to the size of a paperback. The device itself is obviously larger than a paperback, but the screen with the text on it is about the size of a paperback, the way that I formatted it, and I love it. I love holding it. I love this lip on the side. It's reminiscent of the Kindle Oasis, which has a lip on the side of it. I just think it's a fantastic device, and I've been using it non-stop since I've gotten back with reading Lonesome Dove, which is what I'm currently in the middle of reading, which I'm absolutely loving and having a tremendous time with. So huge win to this device, and if you're interested in, I have a ton of e-readers now. I got another e-reader that I'm looking to dive into more from Steve's place. I have my Kindle Oasis, which I've had for a couple of years now, and I absolutely love. I have a tablet. I mean, there's a lot of different e-readers around, and I don't know. None of them have really clicked with me the way that this one has so far. So anyway, I think it's interesting because when it comes to e-readers, just to go on a little bit of a tangent, I think it's funny how with e-readers it is not the case that the more expensive the e-reader, the better it is. It is not the case that the more expensive the e-reader, the better it is. It's just your personal preferences, and unfortunately you don't really know what those personal preferences are until you've spent time with the device, until you've held it in your hands, until you've read from it and played around with it, and really experienced what it's like to use it. This, for example, has a hugely steep learning curve because when I pulled it out of I didn't pull it out of the packaging. When I pulled it out of the drawer and factory reset it so that it was as if I had just pulled it out of the packaging, oh my God, the settings were terrible. I mean, so many of the things that you would have expected to be turned on were turned off. So many of the things that you would never want to be on were turned on. It was formatted strangely. The nice thing about Kindles usually is that they're really sort of plug and play. You pull them out of the packaging, they're formatted right. Every ebook looks the same pretty much. You don't have to worry about font sizes. The only thing that you can do really is pinch to make the font size bigger or squish to make the font size smaller. But on this, there are settings to change literally everything, which honestly kind of paralyzes you in terms of the amount of choices that you can make, or at least it overwhelmed me initially. But once I got the hang of it, I've fallen head over heels with it. So anyway, that's enough ranting about e-readers. If you're interested, just let me know, and I can maybe make a video in the future about e-readers. But let me just talk about some of the books that I have in front of me. The first one, I have a couple of Penguin Classics. I have a couple of books that let's just start with Sophocles and the Oedipus cycle. This is a mass market paperback that I got, and it was a mistake because it was put inside of a little bag. As many mass market paperbacks are, it was put inside of a clear plastic bag, and I didn't open it to check, but the spine immediately cracked and pages started falling out of it, and it's not going to withstand even one read. I might try and get one read out of it, but it's going to be difficult, and I'm certainly not going to rebind something like this. So a little bit of a disappointment on there, but I got it because this is it says here, Dudley Fitz and Robert Fitzgerald translations. And I don't know exactly how that breaks down, but Robert Fitzgerald, as I actually mentioned in my last video in the Q&A, is the translator who translated the Iliad in my favorite translation. So I wanted to read his translation of the Oedipus cycle. I have the Penguin Classic. It's a very nice Penguin Classic of the Oedipus cycle. That one's translated by Fagles, and I've read that one, but I was excited to see Fitzgerald. And maybe I'll find an ebook of this and read it from that, and then the whole thing will come full circle. I got 2 pieces of Jane Austen, which is great. I was really excited to find Northanger Abbey. This is, I believe, her first fully completed novel, but it was published posthumously after she died. I believe she sold it to a publisher who didn't do anything with it, just kind of sat on it. Then her brother bought it back from the publisher when she died, and then decided to publish it. But what is exciting about this one is that not only is it earlier in her novel writing career, but also it's a play on or a parody of Gothic literature, from what I've heard. And I think that's really interesting. I would be interested to see how she sort of parodies a lot of the Gothic tropes. Got a lot of the Gothic tropes that, frankly, I really like. I happen to be a fan of some of those, so I want to see how she does that. Certainly, the cover doesn't suggest anything like that on this Penguin Classic, but you know, whatever. This was a great find. This is actually the one Jane Austen that I was the most looking forward to finding, so I was very glad to see it. But they also had a copy of Emma, which is awesome because, and I don't know if I'm the only person in the world who likes these editions, but this is the Barnes & Noble Signature Classic Edition. And I fell in love with the Barnes & Noble Classic Signature Classic editions when I read a long time ago Jane Eyre. And you can see how I butchered it with these stupid dog ears that I used to do, which I no longer do, which is why I should maybe make a video about it. But anyway, this was great. It held up wonderfully. It was nice to read from. And so when I saw one of Emma in perfect condition, I wanted to get it. But a quick note on these, some of them have the French flaps and some of them don't. And as far as I'm concerned, if they don't have the French flaps on them, they're useless. I don't know what cruel joke someone was playing on, it seems just me, when they decided to design some of these without the French flaps. But if it doesn't have the French flaps, it's a no-go for me. But this one does, and this one does, and it would be nice to have a whole set of these with the French flaps. I know that I keep talking about how much I like ebooks now, but nevertheless, these I think are really cool. They're just really nice. I don't know what it is. It's not like there's anything particularly special about the covers, that's for sure. It's just flowers on this one. But nevertheless, the way it's printed, and I think it's very cool. Then we've got Sherwood Anderson, Winsburg, Ohio. I know nothing about this book other than it's kind of a modernist classic. And we've got a quote from Rebecca West here on the back, which is nice, and an extraordinarily good book. I hope I like it, but I don't really have much to say about it other than I live in Ohio. And so I'm hoping that a book that features my state in the title is something that I enjoy. And then we've got Charles Dickens's Nicholas Nickleby, which is also in a Penguin Classic. So we've got 3 Penguin Classics here, all of which are in perfect condition, and all of which I was excited to find. I've read a bunch of Dickens. I have not read this Dickens. I will be honest, I've never fallen head over heels in love with a single Dickens novel. That doesn't mean I think that they're bad or that I actively didn't like them, but I didn't love them. And I think what's cool about Dickens is that his novels are different enough from each other, at least from what I've read, that you can find your particular Dickens novel that you like the most. And it might be Nicholas Nickleby for me. I don't know. We'll see. And then we'll round it up with 2 pieces of nonfiction. The first is Bully for Brontosaurus, Reflections in Natural History by Stephen Jay Gould. This is an immediate buy author for me. And this is a wonderful hardcover. I wonder if it's a first edition, because it looks very, very original. Copyright 1991. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. But regardless, I love the design of this. It's in perfect condition. And again, Stephen Jay Gould, writer of natural history and science that I absolutely adore. And this is another one of his reflections in natural history, of which he has a bunch. And so I was very, very happy to find this. And then the last one is a book by Morris Klein, Mathematical Thought from Ancient to Modern Times. There are 3 volumes in this series. This is volume 1. Now, this might seem a little bit strange for me to get, but I actually read and really enjoyed a book of Morris Klein's before called The History of, what was it called? Mathematics and Western Thought, I believe is what it's called. And it was very good. It was very good. It was so interesting. It was written clearly with a lay person in mind, and I want to stress that as far as math is concerned, I'm very much a lay person. This is not, I believe, written with as general of an audience in mind at all. Again, there are 3 volumes of this. I don't think that this is supposed to be something for a complete mathematical novice to be able to blow through. However, I'm still interested in whether or not I can get anything from it, whether or not at least I can skim across it and see if there's anything in it that I can really kind of grab onto, because I was scanning it in the used bookstore and was really liking what I was seeing. So mathematics has always held a fascination for me. It's never been something that I've mastered by any stretch, but I have read Morris Klein before. I have that big volume of the history of mathematics on my shelves. I have Gödel Escher Bach by Douglas Hofstadter, and there are certain things on math that I've read before, or math adjacent things that I've read before, and so anything like this that charts math from a history standpoint, I think is fascinating, because mathematics does align with a history of intellectual history, which is what I'm always interested in. So that's that. This is actually a stack. I can actually stack these books this time because there's not that many. But there you go. And don't forget that, let's see. Don't forget Donna Tartt, The Secret History. If you're interested, email me. And Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth are all available. Thank you, BookTube.